Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Pluto here, and today we're going to be continuing with our Pacific Northwest city. Today we're going to focus on bringing down our unemployment, as well as expanding into a new area of the city and building our first train station. We also end up having to balance our books after we spend a little too much. Hope you enjoy today's episode. So our unemployment is back up to almost 12%. So we need to work on that. And my idea is to add more farms here, maybe some vegetable farms, because I noticed we have some room for both making money and jobs. And I think we can also add some more industry over here. That being said, I really want this episode to be more based on expanding here. And I would love to do like a waterfront area here, maybe some beaches, some commercial, and that will add some jobs as well. So I goofed up. I forgot to press record, and I went ahead and built a couple of farms and also some industry. So let me talk through what I did. So here I added 3 farms for agriculture, to be specific, vegetables. And then I unlocked this dairy house, which gave us 39 jobs. So that helped quite a bit in terms of industry. But then I realized that we were still up at about 8%. So I looked through our signature buildings and realized that we have a particle board factory, which makes sense because we have a decent amount of trees and forestry. So I have added that particle board factory. Unfortunately that I lost that footage, but in the grand scheme of things, you just missed a few farms, adding that, and also adding this. So let's pick up where I left off, and I will continue walking you through it. So if we look at our unemployment rate now, it's all the way down to 4.8%. And I believe, at least for the dairy, yeah, we have plenty of jobs available. So I think we can continue making our neighborhood over here. Now, I need to figure out how exactly I want to plan this neighborhood, because one, we need to plan the entries and the exits, because this will be obviously, considering if you look at the size difference between these two and this, there will be more traffic. And 2, where exactly we want to plan commercial and residential areas, because I feel like, considering this is where I plan to make the main downtown area, kind of this area here, I feel like it would be nice to have a nice view here, and maybe some more expensive properties, whether they be commercial or residential. So I want to factor that into it as well. If we look at the space we have here, I think this is the best place to have the entry for now. Again, once we, 1, have the money to do it, and 2, have the need, we will be expanding this highway into a proper, like, normal looking highway instead of just a national road. So that will require, 1, for this stuff be more of a major road. And in fact, before I started, I think I was looking into thinking, 1, it's not very good road hierarchy, and 2, it will probably require a larger road. But I think that's maybe where we start. Create it with a bigger road than what we did here. And we can kind of just draw out a little starting area at least. I also do want this road to kind of make a bridge over and go down, so that's one thing to think about. But for now, let's focus on this entry, because I do not want cars going through here if we can help it. Okay, I think this is a good start for a main street. May need changed, and I think we definitely need to make this slope less dramatic. And if we do the same on the other side. I think that helps quite a lot. As you may have seen in the time lapse, I added a right hand turn here because that is far too steep. But the rest of them, for now, I think will be okay. Now, this entry to this part of the city, 1 needs to clear this railway, and 2 needs to make sense, because I don't want to just draw it across. So I think what we'll do is plan most of the grid here with that in mind, and adjust as need be. So I have loosely planned out how I'm going to do this area. I don't know if it's to scale, so we'll have to see what works and what doesn't. But my thoughts are, if I make this road a little bit bigger, bring it down here, and then up here kind of wrap another main road so we can put more housing here, more housing here, some commercial down this strip, some mixed residential, commercial here, more residential, a train station up here. Eventually, we don't have it unlocked. Some more commercial here, high density residential down this street, some more high density residential here, and then finally some more just low density residential around here. And that will give us space to maybe put either a quay or just a beach down this side. I think it'll be better if I just go ahead and do it. So we'll see what happens, and I will let you see the result. Okay, we are back. So I'm not too sure how I feel about this route layout, but I'm gonna try it and see how it goes. So I have planned for this sort of area. In fact, I might actually pull this out a little bit, like so. Just add a little bit more space and kind of populate it a little bit more. Yes. I was thinking it might be a bit too much, but I think for the level of density we're looking for, I think it works well. If we remove both sides, is that? No, it doesn't, but that's okay. Let's start with some commercial tucked in here. Start with this. Our normal 3 deep, I suppose. And then I also want to add some trees behind it, just to dampen the sound from the railway. Want to add it a little bit over here as well. I've got anarchy off. Whoops, didn't select the right brush. I think that mostly makes sense for the train as well. Maybe remove these 2 big ones and this one. Maybe even that one. But then we refill it in with smaller trees, I suppose. Just don't want it to block any oncoming trains. For safety measures, obviously. So we've got some commercial kicking off right there. I was planning to do like a road down here that would then meet the train station, but I think it's okay just to have this. But I think I want to do something that wasn't in my plan, was to do like a sort of like a square here where it's pedestrianized and kind of like a park. But for now, let's carry on with some residential building. What does it look like whenever this is? Makes 0 difference whatsoever. So let's just continue with this. Oh, that's the wrong type. I believe we've been using these ones. Let those build up, and this is kind of what I expected. But for now, it's okay, because we are still using this area. That does have traffic lights though, so let's remove them. See how it works out. In fact, I wanted to let those kind of zone themselves, but I'm not too sure I like that vibe, so let us grab... Oh, they're quite big. I think I settled on these ones, but I'm not entirely sure. I feel like they're a little bit samey, and not in the way that I was looking for, but we'll start with them and see how we feel soon enough. I also wanted to experiment it a little bit with Road Builder and add sidewalks. Yes, I like that. It took me a second to figure out how to use it because I have never used Road Builder before. But I have a feeling I am going to become addicted because this is crazy. But I think it's an area where it's busy enough that it's necessary to have sidewalks, pretty much. If we remove those, just add a couple of sidewalks either side of them. And that's exactly what I want in this area. As you can see, more people have moved in, so let us add even more housing. And I'm not too sure about these gaps. We may need to add some ploppable buildings there. But for now, let's leave it. I did just realize how uneven this bit is, though. So if we build that out a little bit, hopefully that will be enough for a train station. I do like that this has become like a commercial hub, which, like I say, it will have some more, but it's a nice start. Okay, let's speed up a little bit. Let them build it in. I also want to check on our unemployment. Yes, we have loads and loads of jobs available. And here, I would like to add some, at least medium density housing. Oh, it gets added there. Nice. Good to know. But if we go back to housing and maybe check the modded housing. Does this look like? Nah, that's not the vibe I'm going for here. In fact, I am going to redo it because I feel like before it was a little bit too dense for me. I think something like less stories, a bit smaller, suits the area a lot more. In my opinion, it's still a little bit overdeveloped for this area, but also in my head, this area was bought by, quite a wealthy developer. And they want their money, essentially. So they've got more people in these medium density housing. Kind of blocking the view of the people living here, but unfortunately, they got bought out. I think it's too tight to do more housing behind there, but I kind of feel like maybe do a lower density right behind it. We smooth these curves out a little bit, make it a little bit more smooth curve. Yeah, that works for me. And then we do some low density behind it, just the same that we've been doing before. As we let those grow in, I know for a fact that our unemployment has grown. But that's okay. It's in kind of a good level, if you ask me. Here, I think I have in my plan to do more low density housing here. But I think it's a good place to put some mixed use. And I think that building kind of goes with what's across the street. So let's add those on. Try to make it look nice. One thing, whenever I was researching kind of Pacific Northwest builds in real life, they don't seem to have a strict building code. Like, some areas are more modernized than others. with no real, like, you have modern areas, but not necessarily built to be modern areas, you know? So I think stuff like this is okay. It's a bit of a difficult curve to get everything to line up, though. Maybe we can just have a little area in there. These are developing nicely. I wonder if it might be better to rezone them. See, this is exactly what I didn't want. You can see our highway is starting to have some issues. But I don't think we'll need this much longer, but I don't know, we'll see. Still sitting at a steady 4.1%. So I'm happy with that. But I think we maybe start upgrading this road because it doesn't really make sense to keep this small in any stretch of an imagination. Just notice we have a traffic light over here as well. And here I think I'm going to add some more commercial, maybe even a motel, since, like I say, we're gonna do like a beach-y sort of area over there, so kind of makes sense. So we're almost at the point of unlocking the train station, but for now let's keep going with this neighborhood and try to unlock that train station so that we can truly complete it. As you can see, our little new area is coming along. I think more work needs to be done, but I'm happy with it so far. One thing that I did in my plan want to do is create a high school over in this direction. And I think this is actually the perfect size for what I want to achieve. So I'm gonna flatten this area a little bit to give us some more room. And then plop the high school around here. And then let's terraform again just to make it flat and make sure it looks nice. And then do a little skinny alleyway across this street. Maybe even a 1-lane, just to try to control some traffic. Let's see if we can make that look a little bit nicer with node controller. I also want to remove the surfaces here because it doesn't really blend in with the grass that we do have. And maybe even add some more trees. Doesn't need to have a planter like it does in the other areas, but maybe also expand this bit. So that bit's flat, and we need a fence or something to go around it. So let's check our net lanes. And add it like that. Honestly, let's go with a hedge instead. Turn off snapping. And there we go. I think that looks a lot nicer. Even just add some more trees in this area. It's way too many trees. Okay, let's redo that then. And, or at least just cut down a little bit on the density because it just doesn't look natural, does it? And just like that, we have reached Grand Village. So I think once I've finished detailing this area, it's time to work on our train station. Okay, so as you can see, we've got a lot of trees, but to be honest, I kind of like that. This is going to be a pretty busy road, and we don't want that to get near any high schoolers. No, like I said, we unlock Grand Village. What that unlocks is not only a bunch of new zoning types, but transportation, as well as more parks, and some policies as well. We also got more development points. I think that's going to be useful by 1, unlocking this, and 2, where'd it go? And 2, unlocking large roads. I don't think we'll need them just yet, but I do think we need them to unlock because we'll be needing them soon. I also noticed we have a criminal here, or a crime scene, so I think it's time we add a police station. I think this area here, I was going to leave that as a park area, but this might be better for that. I think this area is actually a good place to put a police station because it has good access throughout the city, and it can, you know, not just be focused in this area, but also over here. So let's move that over a little bit, because I'm not too sure I like how that looks, and hopefully then that will be sorted very soon. We look at fire protection. I don't think we have any fire station either. We do not, so I think we should prioritize that. What I might do is actually move this street over, since previous idea of using that as our park is gone, so we can afford to have a little bit more space on this side. And add this here, and then they can actually have 2 exits, which is never a bad thing whenever it comes to city services. But like I said, I'm really excited to add a train station to this area, so let's get started with that. So of course, one of the things that we need to do in order to get a train station is add a railway yard, or a rail yard, and I think I've found the place that I want to put it. We'll need to do some terraforming in order to fit this building in, but if we just pull this out a little bit, is that enough? Close, but not quite. Even extend it a little bit. This should do it. Yes, it does. I don't think there will be much traffic in this, so I think a single lane road is okay. Let's straighten that up a little bit. Even remove this railway because that's just gonna be going into here, and that will also lessen the bit of traffic that might come from it. And then we connect this up to here. No. Oops. We connect that to here. Now we're back in the red, so let us... I saw that we're actually low on wood, so let's expand that industry a bit further as well. So that's another farm. But I also think that service upkeeps is taking up a lot of our money. So I think we can drop the police services down to, say, around 84%, and same with fire. Let's see if that helps balance it. Helps, but it's not perfect. So I think our next step is to continue building out this area so we can expand in other ways. So what I'm going to do is actually come down here, start filling out this area. So I've added some more residential, some mixed use as well, but we're still kind of in the red. Less so, but we definitely need to increase our income even more. So let's keep on developing our infrastructure and our just overall zoning and try to balance the books more than what they're currently set to. Okay, let us pause for a second. We have reduced it massively, and we did that through a few things. One, we turned off this water tower, because that is enough for our city right now. So we don't need this one. We also added a lot of housing. We also added some offices even, because we did have demand for that. So we put a few here and also one over here. But as you can see, we are still a little bit in the red. What is taking up most of this is the service upkeeps. So let's see what we can trim down on. I think we can lower this at least down to 90. Electricity, we can leave. Water, education, I think we can drop a bit. Maybe down to like 86%. Transportation, we can drop that way down right now. And that puts us in the green. Not by much, but it does put us in the green. That being said, one of the main things that we want to get done this episode is to add a train station. It can be a really small one, to be honest, because I don't think that many people will be using it in this area. So let us first of all remove some of this and add the train station in. Okay, we've managed to fit it in. With not a lot of money left, but we have managed to do it. So if we draw just a straight line, doesn't need to be fancy, and maybe just this one. Like so. We now have a functional train station, but look, we are back in the red. I'm sure we can figure that out with some more housing, which we are currently in demand for. So let us add a couple of houses in this direction. See how that leaves our budget, because there we go. It's already in the green. Run the simulation a little bit, and hopefully these can get built. One thing that we do need to do is connect this up to the grid. So let's work on that. As you can see, we're back in the red. So let us maybe bring the road budget down a little bit more. And that puts us back in the green. I didn't connect it to the electricity though, so let's... In fact, we don't really have an awful lot of money to do that. But that can wait until the next episode. We've actually made a lot of progress today. We've developed a whole new neighbourhood. We've set up our first train station, which hopefully it'll get some use soon. And we've also placed our first offices, our first high density building. We've also added some farms and a little bit of industry up here as well. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up here, and I will be back next week for another episode. Don't forget to leave some comments for suggestions on what to actually call the city, because it's still unnamed. But I shall see you in the next episode. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you around. Bye everyone.